Okay, so in this session, we are going to discuss in detail about the methods of drawing solids on flat surfaces. So that will be our main focus. And we'll be discussing mainly two methods. That is, the first one is known as the oblique sketching or the oblique sketches, in which we define it and then we take a few examples of how to draw oblique sketches for solids. And then I will discuss a very widely used method, another widely used method known as isometric sketching. It is used quite a lot in engineering drawing, and even architects use that. Okay, and then we also quickly cover the differences between the oblique and the isometric sketches. That is, after we go through both of the methods of sketching using an oblique method and the isometric, we will just try to see the differences between both of these. Once we are done with this, what we do is we will go for visualizing solid objects and taking those scenarios in which we can see only a few sides of the solid objects. That is, not all the sides are visible. In that case, how to visualize the complete picture of that. So that is going to be our discussions in this video. Having said that, let us start. This is the next session. So having said that, let us continue our discussion on drawing three-dimensional shapes on two-dimensional surfaces. Now this is quite an interesting thing, because three-dimensional shapes, they have length, breadth and depth, whereas a two-dimensional surface like the paper, right, it just has length and breadth. So that poses a basic problem, that we want to draw shapes on paper, but the paper is flat and it allows variations in two dimension only, whereas 3D shapes have depth. So what do we do? That's a basic problem for us. Well, the answer is quite simple. What we do is we create a visual illusion of depth on paper using some kind of drawing techniques, right? And these two drawing techniques are what we call as oblique drawing and the isometric drawing. So these two techniques, right, oblique and isometric drawing, are those techniques which allow us to create the illusion of depth on paper for 3D shapes. So now let us go and explore these techniques in more detail. So we start with an oblique sketch. So oblique sketch is not something which is very new to you. In fact, throughout this chapter's video lessons that have been posted earlier, you would have seen that we have used three-dimensional figures, right, to show you a cube, or when we gave you the example of the faces, vertices and edges, that time we took a cuboid, right? They are all the examples of oblique sketching, right? These are all oblique sketches. So now what is so special about it? It simply provides a visual illusion of a solid on paper. For example, you were able to recognize that the particular drawing which was drawn was looking like a cube or was looking like a cuboid, and so on. So having said that, now let us learn how to make the oblique sketches. So we'll go and draw an oblique sketch. Okay, so here we are trying to draw the oblique sketches. So now it is best for us to draw oblique sketches on a square paper, right? So now we first make a square, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just taking three. Okay, so this line is not straight. Let me try to make it straight. Yeah. So I am now taking just 3 squares here, and again it's not straight, but I think you will get an idea. And again this is another one, and then this here, and then we make a square, as much square as possible, right? Now leave one square here and just try to make another square. So we are going to draw the sketch of a cube on this paper. So what we have done, we have drawn 2 faces, right? And now for me to be able to completely draw it as a cube, what I do is I simply join these points here. and this is your cube. So if you just observe it very closely, even though this is a two-dimensional paper, right? This paper is two-dimensional, but still you can make it out that this is a cube. And other observations that you can make for this cube are, those observations is that the front face that we made, this front face, right? This front face, the front part, and the back face that we made, right? They were of the same size, but these two, right? So a cube has all the equal sides. So these are of all of same length, but these sides are not of same length as of these sides. But still it is giving you the illusion that it is a perfect cube, right? So this is an example of an oblique sketch. And not only that, in reality, when you would be drawing this, what you would do is you would replace this with dotted lines like this. So the edges which we cannot see, we replace them with dotted edges. So just to redraw it, it will look something like this. So we draw this again here. So I will not be drawing now. Let's say that we are drawing, this is the front edge, and then we also need to draw the other face of this cube. And now what we do is we try to draw it using, so this one is something that looks like I have, okay, so yes, this is the edge that we can see. This is also the edge we can see. Yeah, and this is also the edge that we can see. So this is how it looks, right, when we don't have the other edges. So again, this is giving you the illusion of a cube. So now when I now want to show you the other edges, which we just represent them using dotted lines like this. They are not completely straight, but I hope you get the idea that this is how the cube would be looking, right? So this is, and I mean, the obvious thing in the oblique sketch is that not all the sides are of equal length, but it still gives us a illusion of a 3D object. Now another example we can take is try to make a cuboid. Okay, so in order to make a cuboid, we follow the same procedure, but again we need to make a rectangular surface. So how many I have taken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 I have taken here. We can take 3 over here, we take 6 more over here, and these are 3. These are 3. And then again, this was the back face. Now we leave one, or we leave one, and then we would make one more over here. We go down and make 3. So, and this becomes the front face. And now we join these here. And this gives us the illusion of a